Hey guys, welcome back to the JPM Performance channel. It's of course time for a shop tour, and it is right here, April 17th. We are 1 week away from leaving for Hallett. I think we'll have a shop tour next week. Is that right, John? Yep. So we'll have a Hallett preview next week, and then hopefully I see a bunch of you guys down at Hallett. We will see. So Hallett's always fun because the weather is always, you never know what's going to happen, but wouldn't miss this Hallett Super Tour for anything. It's one of the best races. If you've never been to Hallett, put it on your list because it's super fun. It's the way old school road racing is supposed to be. So, okay, shop tour time. What you guys missed is the engine that I put together over the last week, which I'll show you over there. But what I've got is I actually have two different differentials that I'm going to be building here today. You can see this is a little bit different looking than an OS Geiken, although it's very similar. This is a Kaz 1.5 way, very similar to an OS Geiken, and you can actually get them. So this is for a guy out west who has seen my differential video and wanted me to kind of do my thing to it. So I'm going to get this all restored, of course. Already have the new side bearings on the limited slip. Get everything restored and get this going, and then I have another one for another guy. So when I have all my tools out, it's always handy to kind of whip them out together. But it's kind of funny. I talk to guys about differentials and this and that, and you get them from all over the country, and they send them to me, and they both showed up yesterday, just out of the blue. So I finished that motor, so I'm going to get after this one. So the engine that I finished is sitting over here. This is actually Mike Herrick's engine for his 1.6 liter solo car, autocross car, that I believe his son drives. And you can see what I'm missing here. The engine's completely done except for a valve cover. So you guys have seen the beautiful valve covers that I'm getting powder coated. It's taken some time to get some of those, so I expect the valve cover probably next week, first of next week. He doesn't need the engine right now, so I'm just going to kind of let it sit here for now. But it's completely done, ready to go. Brand new. It's like a brand new, fresh bone stock, but improved, balanced and blueprinted, of course. 1.6 liter engine. Pretty cool. Don't get to do stock ones very often, so that was kind of fun. Good progress on Rich Grunwald's car. So you see I've got a towel laying over this. That's simply because the header is not on yet, because guess what? Still waiting on a transmission. Supposed to be here like first of this week. I guess it didn't happen. But I got the engine installed. You can see it's completely hooked up. With these kind of mounts that we run, you can see the engine doesn't move that much. They're not solid mounts, but I can put everything together, get everything hooked up, and once the transmission comes, the reason I don't have the header on is because you can't get the transmission on with the header on, which may seem kind of strange, but these long header tubes are in the way of the transmission. So I'm keeping this on here, waiting on a transmission that will hopefully be here, I think tomorrow, maybe Saturday, maybe Monday, we'll see. The other thing that is completed is the drop floor inside here. So a very nice drop floor. The drop floor kit comes from Jim Drago's East Street Racing in Memphis, and he sells it as a kit, all pre-cut, welded together, and then you just have to cut out your floor and get it all welded in, which is a pretty big job actually. So that's what we're waiting on here. Obviously our pile is getting whittled down here, which is nice. So, Camaro update. Off to Gateway last weekend. You can see the front of the car looks really good. So this is the epitome of the highs and lows of racing. If you don't know what the highs and lows of racing are, the highs are when you have a great weekend, you might win, you had a good race, and these highs keep you coming back. No matter what happens in racing, because bad things happen in racing, believe me. No matter what happens, the highs keep you coming back. The lows are what happened to Steve last weekend, which is a, well, why don't we just take a look over here. He got offline and lost control of the car and hit the concrete wall at Gateway. So you can see we have a wheel that is destroyed, obviously the tire. You can see that the rear axle housing is bent at about 30 degrees from where the tire impacted the wall and then bent that. The other thing that I've noticed lately over the last day since I've had it jacked up is that the transmission is leaking as well. So what I think happened was the whole diff housing moved forward in the drive shaft, bottomed out on the transmission, and I'm afraid the transmission might be cracked or something like that. And of course, body work, the entire rear section underneath the bumper area, the entire tail housing, the tire and tail piece is broken. The inner fender liner for the right rear, and who knows what else. So this is the lows of racing. What a shame, right? What a shame. The car, he reported that the car was better than ever, and awesome horsepower, handling really good, everything was perfect. He just made an error, which happens in racing as well, especially if you can imagine. Now, I personally have never raced a car like this in anger, but it's a beast, right? And so it takes some time to get used to something like this. And so these things happen. This is the bad part of racing. So the car's going to be down for a while. All of these bits and pieces are very custom and very hard to come by. And so you guys are going to get to see me tear this thing back apart again. I can't believe it. Sometimes you just have to laugh it off and move forward. So that's our Camaro update for the week. Let's move over to here to something a little more happy. Ken Kennard's car, completely done. New tires mounted, car's completely clean. Good tires on for the test day. Car's beautiful. It's looking really good. No complaints. Ready for Hallett. Ready to go. Now you guys have seen this car before. So this is Jake Anton's STL 1.6 litered engine Miata. So this is a 99 Miata with a 1.6 engine in it. You can do motor swaps in STL. But Jake is the purchaser, and I don't even know if I mentioned this. I probably did. Jake purchased the ex-Bill Miller E-Production RX-7. So Jake sold this car. So this car is headed to Florida. Shout out today to Louis Bustani in Florida, who purchased this car. So the car is here for me to get it up in the air, give it a quick check over, make sure everything's looking good. I know it is because the car is basically prepped. It's a little bit dusty. So I'll probably clean it up a little bit, and I'm sure Lewis is going to, you know, make it his own. But yeah, headed to Florida. Pretty cool. I've known Lewis for a couple years now. He's actually the guy I like to get my AIM stuff from. If you need any AIM stuff, look him up. So he's a great guy. And I'm looking forward to him owning a JPM built car. And I'm also looking forward to helping Jake figure out what an E-Production RX-7 is all about. He is in for some fun and maybe a little frustration. We'll see. Mazda 2 update. She's on the ground, cleaned like a diamond, ready to go to Hallett. So no worries, no problems. Ready to fight another day. I did have, and you guys missed it on the shop tour last week, I wanted to do the shop tour early so you could see just how beautiful the Camaro was. And what you guys missed was the fact that Bill Lampkin was here last week before the Gateway race. And we put in his new engine, and over a couple of days we were able to, we actually did a little swapping around of some bits and pieces on the dyno to do some testing and came up with a setup that was better than what we've ever seen for his CRX. So we ended up going over to Gateway and ran the test day, and unfortunately had transmission problems while he was there. Sounded like a combination of shift linkage stuff, maybe something in the transmission, I don't know for sure. So he didn't actually run the weekend, but he went back to Colorado and I believe is installing his other transmission, maybe the limited slip or whatever, and he's going to try and make it to Hallett. So hopefully we get to see Bill at Hallett next week. It looked like, I know Dave Ryder had an emergency that came up at work, so he didn't make the trip. Bill had to back out. I can't remember who else didn't make it. They didn't have race monitor going, so it was kind of hard to find the racing, but it looked like a new H production lap record was put down by either Chuck Mathis or Chris Shaftsma. I know they had some good races, but I don't know all the details because you couldn't really see anything on race monitor. It was on Speed Hive, which is, if you've ever been on Speed Hive, it's a little bit of an annoying racing application for watching live timing, but it was on Speed Hive. But they did have, I think, 5 H cars that ended up running the weekend, which was good. So next weekend, if Bill shows up, we've got myself, Bill Lampkin, Ralph Lindau, Chris Albin, and the guy from Texas in the 510. Gosh, I can't remember his name. Anyway, so I think we've for sure got at least 4, maybe 5 cars for H production for next weekend, and who knows, maybe somebody else will enter. So we're looking good there. But that's kind of where I'm at for the Mazda 2 for this week. And then, of course, did get another engine in. So I've got Mark McAllister actually came by. So he got himself, his wife got a new little travel trailer, they're built in Texas. And so the guy who built the travel trailer brought it up to here, and then Mark showed up with his pickup truck and dropped off his engine. This engine is one of the older ones. This thing's like 4 or 5 years old. So it's time for a refresh, probably past time for a refresh. But anyway, it was good to see Mark. I haven't seen him in a while. Dropped off his engine, dropped off his transmission in a nice crate. For anybody that's paying attention, this is how you should ship stuff. And, oh yeah, the motors are rolling in now. This is Joe Carr's engine out of his e-production Miata. So it just showed up this week too. So I've got 2 fresh engines, plus I've got Ken's spare back there to work on. Well, we are rolling now, guys. So I don't have to prep the Camaro in the next week because it's not going to Hallett. So pushing the Camaro aside, I'm going to look for bits and pieces for that, which is probably going to take a month or 2 or more, who knows. And then just focused on Hallett right now. So I was looking at my calendar. After Hallett, I've got 3 weeks before Mid-Ohio. Yes, I'm going to Mid-Ohio this year. Really looking forward to it. I know the track's been repaved. They redid the end of the back straight, like completely redid it, like filled. There's no more China Beach from what I understand. So really looking forward to Mid-Ohio. That is 4 weeks from now. So that's where I'm going to finish up my Super Tour races for the year before it starts getting hot. But so far, so good. Had a great road at Atlanta. Really looking forward to Hallett. Of course, my local race used to be Heartland Park, which is now gone. So my local race is now Hallett. So I'm going to go down to our local Super Tour at Hallett and see everybody down there, hoping for some good weather and good racing as always. I know a bunch of you will be there. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Next week we'll have a Hallett preview, and you'll get a chance to see what's going on next week, because there's always something changing. I appreciate you guys watching, as always. I know, I'm good at rambling, so some days I just ramble. Some days you just have to listen. I appreciate you watching and listening. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you next week. Take care.